Welcome to Operation Outreach, a program to highlight the services available to military veterans right here in Central Florida. I'm Fred Robinson, Chair of the Orange County Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council. Life after military service can present a range of challenges for veterans, both physical and mental. The transition isn't always easy, but thankfully there are services in place to support them on their journey of healing and regeneration. Here to share more about those resources is Raphael Rios, Section Chief, Occupational Therapist, Anesthesia and Physical Medicine Service. Raphael, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Fred.
Raphael, I'd like to ask you a question. Did you ever serve in the military?
Yes, sir, I did. I served from 1988 to 1992 in the United States Marine Corps.
Thank you for your service. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
All right. Can you describe the role of occupational therapy in the VA?
The role of occupational therapy. So, before we talk about occupation, we have to define what occupation is. Occupation is everything that a person engaged in daily life that is meaningful to a person, either individual, with their families, or with our communities. And we, when somebody comes always to us, they said, well, I'm here, occupational therapy, what is that? I don't want to work, or I want to work. I go, yeah, sure. We can do that, but it's much more grander than that, right? So we have 9 occupations. We have your basic self-care, instrumental activities of daily living, healthcare management, work, play, leisure, and sleep. So when a veteran comes to us, what we do a thorough and complete evaluation. We do what we call an occupational profile. And from there, we create a thorough plan of care. We create some SMART goals, and we measure outcomes based on our assessment.
And what are some of the challenges that veterans have that are unique challenges that you've noticed with the occupational therapy?
I mean, our veterans face some unique challenges. I always tell people that want to come to the VA, well, I mean, the VA is very different to traditional healthcare out there. We have veterans, they have severe PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, and a lot of pain because of some of the injuries that they, had while serving in the military. So it's very different. It's multifactorial. It's got a lot of different scenarios than when you work with somebody in the private sector. So our programs are tailored towards that. Okay,
so if there's different things that you're challenged with, you have a discipline that'll help them.
I mean, what our occupational therapy field, I mean, we right now, one of the best things that our service did was they combined whole health, occupational therapy, and recreational therapy. I mean, we all come from the biopsychosocial model of practice. So that's a game changer right there, because what we do, we are all about empowering the veteran and promote independence, and that's what we do. So all our treatments, whether a veteran is working with a coach, an occupational therapist, or recreational therapist, it's all about promoting independence.
And what are some of the biggest challenges that you notice that a lot of veterans have with occupational therapy?
Some of the biggest challenges, it's probably initially the buy-in, but once we do our assessment and we do a deep dive into what they're there for, they start working with us.
How do you collaborate with other VA healthcare providers to make sure that the veteran gets the appropriate care?
Well, let me give you an example. So we have a program at the VA, and I'll tell you a little bit more about some of our specialty programs that we have under occupational therapy. We have our neurovision program, our vision therapy program by one of the therapists. So we collaborate a lot with ophthalmology with that. So we focus a little bit more on veterans that have TBI injuries, traumatic brain injuries, and we work very closely with our low vision clinic.
And what type of equipment and technologies are used at the VA to help these veterans with their challenges?
I mean, in terms of, that's really a lot of it is our bread and butter. I mean, we can go from basic adaptive equipment to very complex. So let's say somebody has a chronic low back pain, we can issue a veteran very low-tech equipment like, let's say, long-handle shoe horns, reachers, sockade, from doing environmental control units, which controls pretty much their home. So we have an assistive technology practitioner on our occupational therapy team that focuses just on that. Yeah, we also have a driver's rehab program that's new this year. So veterans that have lost their ability to drive, we can bring them in, do a thorough assessment, and if they need cognitive rehabilitation, we do cognitive rehabilitation. And if slowly we bring them up to the road, we got our first car this year, so we can do behind the wheel testing in the VA.
And how do you measure the progress or success of these particular individuals?
We have outcome measures, but it goes down to the goals. We do SMART goals, and we periodically do a systematic reassessments and see where they're at, and we adjust goals as we go. So a combination of outcome measures and the SMART goals that we set up with them.
And how do you integrate family members or caregivers into the therapy?
We have a caregiver program actually in the VA. So, I mean, we always bring in the veteran, the caregiver in. That's part, we also have to take care of the caregiver.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's part of
Absolutely.
it. I mean, if we don't take care of the caregiver, that's the veteran's greatest ally, okay? So, yes, we look at the veteran, but we always, hey, what about you?
Absolutely.
So important. Whatever the veteran's caregiver needs to make that caregiving experience, we supply it. But we also have a structured caregiver program where we go into the patient's home, and our provider does a thorough home assessment, and they find whatever that veteran needs, and we give them. And then we also we do an assessment for the caregiver, and because sometimes there's a program that the caregiver can get compensated also for being the primary caregiver for the veteran. So we have that's one huge thing that I think is beneficial to our population.
It's important so they can age in place.
Yes, I mean, aging, nothing like growing old in your own home and staying there. I think we all do better that way.
Yeah, I have a hospice background, so I'm very familiar with that. But I wanted to ask you also, what is the best fulfillment that you get from what you're doing?
Yeah, I was flirting with other fields, but this one picked me. And then the fact that I'm serving veterans, I'm still serving. I have 4 years in the service. I feel like I'm still serving my veterans. And I mean, not to take anything from anybody else, but sometimes a veteran understands a veteran better than anybody else, especially if they share some of the experiences. Yeah.
And it's just wearing a different uniform now, but still for the same purpose, same cause.
When a veteran is in need, and I can see it from their perspective, and when they talk about their experience, I may not be the same, but it may be similar. I go, hey, I understand where you're coming from, and so it's a different. I love it. I mean, I feel like I'm still in, and I'm still serving, and hopefully, I can give it another 10, 15 years.
Well, it's great, and I really appreciate you letting me interview you today, and I really think you found your purpose.
Oh, definitely.
And again, thank you for letting me interview you today, and the VA Medical Center for letting you come here today to give us more information on the services that you provide in occupational therapy.
Thank you for having me, Fred, today.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Occupational therapy is truly a powerful resource in supporting veterans on their journey in healing and helping them rebuild, adapt, and thrive beyond their years in service. When we come back, we will be joined by Andreas Perez, coordinator of the Fall Prevention School. We will explore how the program works and the positive impact it is making in the lives of veterans.